Wah, wah, wah. Behold, I have returned. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Onii-chan, and you're all my emotos, whether you like it or not. Hello. I'm having a great time tonight. Hopefully you're all well. So, I have one more video, and for those of you who might not know, I freaking love Royalty is Here. Everything they make is great. I've not seen a video by them I've disliked at all yet, so I'm really excited. I love their little bird head. I've even gotten a little comment from them one time. They've noticed me. Senpai noticed me, which is pretty cool. It's very obvious that they've been also a weirdo, terminally online person. And they know their shit. Like, they know how to get around and where to go for stuff. So, Jaffa cakes? They're eating Jaffa cakes. And there's Mita, my wife. It's not the cool Mita, though, but I'm not going to say which Mita is my favorite. It's probably not a good idea. Anyways. Yeah, this is Royalties Here. I'm really excited to see what they have to say about AI dating is the worst. Boy, is there a lot of shit about AI right now. And if only this video maybe had come out a day or two ago with the new Grok waifu dropping, who is just Misa Amane, but Elon Muskified to be more what he wants. If I was telling someone about this the other day, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I remembered when Elon Musk was liking images of Misa Amane publicly on Twitter, and people were calling him out for it, and they were doing their weird anti-shit, right? But they were saying, like, why are you liking Misa Amane? And I think it was soon after that happened that he put the feature in place of, like, likes are now private. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I remember that in my brain, and it's also funnier to remember it that way. I love Mita. Look at her. All Mita sisters are so good. They make me so happy. Okay, you're going to get into this one. So again, this is AI Dating is the Worst by Royalty is Here. Ready, 3, 2, 1, wah! So,
AI. It feels as if people
AI.
have been talking about it non-stop for at least the last 2 years.
Oh no! What is the little asthma bugs everywhere? And Charlie, I saw Charlie. That's awful. Oh my god, I hate this. Imagine that shit crawling around your room with the little asthma heads just bitching about video games and DEI. Oh my god. That's so good. I love that.
I still have a cold, by the way. AI went from something that was relatively a lot less mainstream.
You're gonna show Will Smith?
Something that is almost talked about.
The Will Smith spaghetti.
It used to serve as videos like Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Yeah, there it is!
PS2 graphics. That's being generous, and it was essentially
I loved those videos.
Lucid dream, pulling things out of nowhere and just having no structure at all. But 2 years later, you have to look closely now at the screen to see one of the many telltale signs.
Oh, look at the spaghetti
AI.
mushed together.
Hands with additional fingers, flickers in the background, or simply unrealistic proportions.
Oh, she
Day by
downed
day,
that
it's
thing.
harder to detect this by the naked eye, especially on short-form content platforms.
Hold on. I'm sorry. What the fuck is this? The child with the jetpack? Is he having fun? What is that? That's awful. I hate that. Oh my god, that's great. Man, I feel like such a role reversal thing right now with old people in my generation and younger generations with what it comes to the shit you see online. Old people just have no chance. They see an AI video and they just have no chance. They will not stop and analyze stuff enough to realize that there are things about it that just are out of place or not correct. And now I am dealing with my mom, who is like almost 70 now. She is getting more and more into YouTube shorts and also watching short form videos. There's a bunch of videos she'll show me. She's like, this is weird. Have you seen this? Or this is funny. And I have to explain to her, this isn't real. This is AI. Like, it's your generico AI slop with a lot of the stuff that's very obvious showing this AI. And we're dealing a lot with now, especially Facebook. Facebook's so fucked with AI right now. My grandma will talk, like, because my grandma's like does Facebook stuff. And she sees a bunch of things that are just not real. And it goes back to the, like, do you remember, like, being a kid and being told, hey, don't believe everything you see on the internet, like, because a lot of it's going to be lies or not true or trick you or try to harm you? And the same people who told us that are now all, like, believing everything they see on the internet and are falling to it. And it's sad. And I'm also worried because right now I think I'm in a unique position with people who are my age and also maybe in their mid 20s. I would say earlier 20s too, because like I know people who are like 20 years old who can see AI stuff. But there's going to be a whole generation of people growing up with AI already existing. And that's just going to be an element of their life they know, or they already know, or have already like witnessed. And I worry that, are we going to have people who AI is such a prevalent, normal part of their lives, especially like fake content or generated content, that it's just going to be their thing, or how, like what they used to witness, or they're going to be so susceptible to the garbage that's going to be pushed? Because it's only going to get worse. I believe either it's going to have a crash or it's going to get worse. And with the way corpos right now are pushing AI, I don't see us going anywhere but doomed.
Platforms, where you can see videos of what seems to be professionals.
I'm sorry, what? 33 years of poop flushing Victoria's Secret models? Jesus Christ. 23 years as a vagina doctor, yet nobody believes me when I tell them how to stop things from sticking. Isn't it called a gynecologist and not a vagina doctor? I'm not a woman's, but I know that much at least. I don't know the inner workings of a lot of that other shit. 13 years sucking fat out of celebrity bellies, yet nobody believes me when I tell them this. Wow. That's great. That's, oh man. All right, yeah, let's just keep going.
In that field, talking about how it's a great idea to, I don't know, inject hepatitis C directly into
Sorry, what?
But you look closely and the so-called professional giving the advice.
Wait, hold on. Where do you get your hands on hepatitis C? Is this just something you can just have? Can I just get blood like already tainted like on the internet? Is that something like Silk Road would have sold you years ago? All right, you know, let's keep going. I'm sorry.
Face seems to barely blink, or the top of their head seems somewhat distorted. And even if you're not 100% sure, you look in the comments and people come to the same revelation. But I fear for the natural selection that will occur with the people that actually do believe it. AI is seemingly everywhere now.
Oh, I hate that. No, not pregnant Charlie.
AI in any form is looked down upon, even if you do fully disclose it was AI generated. AI used academically is heavily condemned to the point where some universities...
Okay, hold on. I need to see that again. Hold up.
Generated. AI used
Graduate celebrates by showing off the ChatGPT he used for his final projects right before officially graduating. Oh, so I've worried about this. I have to visit a lot of doctors. I am so fucked up. I have so many doctors I have to go visit. And there are people in professional fields like this who are getting by just via like ChatGPT and AI stuff. Is there some kind of system? Is there some way to filter out eventually the people who obviously know their stuff and don't know their stuff? Because I would think like the whole like fake it till you make it thing can only take you so far in certain fields. Because like especially if it's something that's more hands-on, it's going to be very obvious that you have no idea what you're talking about or doing. But this is also going to add a lot of like doubt for people. I already don't trust doctors. I don't know if people know. I hate doctors. I fucking hate doctors. Every time I deal with doctors, they screw me over in some way. They've screwed my family over in some way. And they've also been responsible for the horrible death of somebody I knew just because they refused to listen to something we had to say. I have not the most trust for doctors because of a lot of, I would call it like anecdotal or personal experience. But going forward with this, thinking there's so many people now just getting by on bullshit that aren't actually educated in the field that they want to be in or trying to go for, just makes me have even more doubt. I would assume also like, because colleges can revoke certificates, right? So would they not see this and maybe like find the guy who attended and revoke his license or certificate and like the stuff he did? Is that not something that can happen? Or am I mistaken in thinking they can do that?
Academically is heavily condemned to the point where some universities have their own AI to detect it.
Those shit.
Easily countered by just telling the AI to write the answers as your typical brain-dead Neanderthal. But hey, when I was growing up, schools held the same disdain for Googling answers.
Yeah.
Things might change. Once again, there's even AI content now.
We had a lot of
AI
stuff
models will do all the editing
school
and
where, like,
voiceover work for you.
we had a
which creates
Wikipedia
some of
checker
the
for
most
things.
soulless content, but it does surprisingly well on some platforms.
Why?
But once again,
Okay, so I've seen this. This is just, oh, that's awful. I hate that.
soulless content, but it does
But why does it do well? Like, what about it draws views or people to it? Because I would assume part of it is like YouTube's weird algorithm, and you can just make 100 of these videos at a time and keep pumping them out, and eventually the algo kind of locks onto you to see, like, to be able to push it, right? Or maybe something like that. It's been a while since I've actually brushed up on how the current YouTube system works, other than it's using shorts right now and destroying long form video content for a lot of people. But this stuff can't be so interesting or so neat looking that it makes a lot of people click on it. Other than maybe the concept that it is AI itself, where people are like, okay, I'm interested to see what the AI has to say as more of like an entertainment thing. But there's other ones where it's weird videos of like, what is it, AI interpretation of how they built the pyramids. And then people would be like, oh my God, that's so neat. I can't believe they built the pyramids like that. Is it a lot of stupid people flocking to it, or is it actual general interest in what's happening?
surprisingly well on some platforms, but once again, it is looked down upon. Mr. Beast recently got in shit for sharing a AI
Yeah, I remember
that
this.
generates thumbnails. Even I've been accused of being AI.
Okay, so let me go back to, so use stats, just drop AI thumbnails, and it takes the guesswork out of thumbnail will perform. Just prompt what you're looking for, and it will generate a data-backed viral thumbnail. Okay, so I believe AI, again, is something that can be a tool to aid humanity, especially for those who create, like with creatives, that it's something we can use to help make our lives easier, our jobs easier, right? You can have it in a way that it's not like weird, and I guess you could call it quote unquote unethical. There's a bigger discussion to have about that I'm not going to have here. Because I think, what is it? The big thing with like a lot of generative AI, when especially comes to with images, is that people don't like the idea that a bunch of it is scraped and it's essentially quote unquote regurgitating other people's works, is that's at least how they see it. From what my friends told me, a lot of things are like more predictive, and every like pixel or everything they make is based off of like a guess of what it thinks the next best thing is going to be in that situation while it's creating something. So it's not necessarily that, but that's just what they've explained it to me as, because they're more like proficient in doing like coding stuff and whatnot, and so that's just how I know it from them, at least. So something like this, right? When it comes to like let's say thumbnails, is it the fact that it's AI itself that you don't like? That somebody would be like, okay, I'm using AI to generate this whole thing and make the text on it and make the image and just a bunch of bullshit in the background for the sake of eye candy? Or is it the AI itself that you disagree with? Because like I said, a lot of people don't like the whole scraping thing or learning data or training data. There's a lot of people who hate that part. Or is it both, right? Because I do ASMR stuff. I make a lot of my own little ASMR content on my YouTube. My main YouTube channel is all ASMR. And I see many people use AI art for it. Like a ton of, I think there are more people using AI art now for ASMR content than there are people with actual artists. Unless you choose to steal the content, of course, right? Because there's a lot of thumbnails and backgrounds that people just like, okay, yeah, I'm just taking this character off of Twitter and I'm using it for my own thing. But yeah, you do see a ton of like anime characters that have just been AI generated, and I hate to say, they do look like shit. I don't know. I'd be interested to see what people have to say about it. I know there's a big discourse, so I would appreciate if people are maybe like have constructive criticism or like not argue about it. But I'd like to hear both sides of this argument to see where like they're coming from with it.
Thumbnails. Even I've been accused of being AI. No, I'm just
Use an AI voice, at least make sure. That's so good. That's so good. I love these kind of comments because you'll see these a lot on Twitter when it comes to art. And all you're doing is destroying like your own side's argument with things, where it's like, oh yeah, AI will never replace us. But if you thought the real thing was AI, you obviously thought that the quality that it was presenting was at some like range maybe equal to like a person's work. Even if you were mistaken into thinking that, you were able to confuse the two, right? I think obviously there's a lot of people who just do this to just troll. I think this is probably just a troll, because I see that all the time on Twitter. It's more of just trolling, claiming someone is AI, unless they're an artist themselves, because artists are often fucking terrible people if you really know them, like at their core. and they'll just be like fling the AI allegation around because they're mad or butthurt over some bullshit.
And still have a cold right now. There's AI brain rot, which most is just
God
slop, but I have to admit, I have been enjoying some of it, like the Bigfoot ones.
I had one motherfucking burrito. Chipotle must have laced this bitch with laxatives.
Okay, all right, I actually do like the Bigfoot ones. I've seen a bunch of these. It's so over, holy shit. Like, some of these, like, the voiceovers are well done. The content they're doing is hilarious. I think most of it is just, like, not necessarily, like, what it is what they're saying or doing is always all funny, but just, like, the thing of, like, this presented to you is in such a stupid way that it's funny, but, like, God, some of these are great. We're so fucked. I'm waiting for the day we get like more AI waifus and VTubers just in the realm. Content creation's so screwed, man, unless people do something about it.
Because I'm about to start World War III with this nuclear bomb of a shit.
Star Wars ones.
So, I found the boss and he's looking a little medium rare.
Greg, bro, that's not... Okay, first of all, that's definitely not medical...
But probably
Okay, that's like Skibidi Toilet
sides to
level
AI
humor.
I saw was with the AI wingmen and people actually dating AI.
Yeah, did AI.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
So with the rise of AI in recent years, it has also affected things like dating, where you can find AI assistants to help you speak to...
Does anybody remember the Hawk Tua lady? And how, like, I think she started some dating app for, I don't know who the fuck it was for, but she started a dumb dating app, and I think it was like a clone of another dating app, and it had a bunch of AI bullshit like integrated into it. Also, Riz AI is terrible. I hate God damn it. Riz is such a shit ass word. I hate it. I've had somebody tell me they were trying to Riz me before, and I'm like, I don't understand. It's that image of like where the person's saying like flirt back, and it's like, I don't know how, but it's not boomer, it's Zoomer speak. I don't get it.
Potential partners. Some of you probably will need this, as most of you probably can't even speak to the opposite gender, let alone the McDonald's cashier. And grinding for that Abrams tank on your favorite game isn't going to help that. But there's a lot of these apps that supposedly can help you talk to people on these dating
Hey, I play
apps.
Broken Arrow, okay? There's nothing to grind for. I have all the tanks.
Fire Text and Plug AI and many, many more.
What are we plugging?
To give you the best dating advice and to tell you what to say next. Now, to be honest, this is terrible.
Call me a
I
smooth
understand
skin.
using
Come on.
dating apps, at least from a male perspective, is about as painful as spam cramps, which
Are real. They're real.
thing. And believe me, I have used dating apps in the past, and they are complete dog shit. It is essentially a battle royale where some people are speaking to multiple people at once, and you feel as though you need to say the right things to make someone like you, or act like a completely...
It's like a visual novel.
And yes, sometimes you will get a message and you just don't know how to reply to it. And there are multiple dialogue options. You can be playful, witty, romantic, or pray to the
Went to
RNG gods.
Blastoise to you? What?
You're using has a pity drop system and tell a f***ed up joke to see if they match your humor to gauge whether or not for the entire relationship.
Oh,
You're gonna
man.
have to be Dr. Jekyll and Hyde or run around.
Okay, so that's... man. That's one of the things I actually have when I encounter a lot of new people, or people I want to be friends with and I talk to. With the thing of like... So I don't really get offended by a lot of stuff. I'm an edgy piece of shit. And like in my own private groups, I'm an edgy trash piece of shit human being, right? And I don't necessarily want people to be edgy or annoying or whatever, but I do want people to feel like they're allowed to be themselves. So when I'm talking with people, because I don't get offended really that easily, I don't get a lot mad at a lot of things, unless they're being mean, right? There's a difference between being edgy and a piece of shit and being mean. But I'll be like, hey, you know, like, you can honestly say literally whatever you want with me, and I will just probably laugh at it. I want you to be comfortable with who you are. I think people who are truly your friends, you are allowed to be and say what you as a person want to say. And those who actually truly care for you aren't going to be super annoying about it. Obviously, that's going to be different from person to person because everybody has their own limits with things. But yeah, I like the idea of like, tell your fucking edgy joke and see where they come from it. Obviously, it doesn't always have to be an edgy joke. It can be like, okay, here's something I am. Here's just a raw bit of me as a human being. And let's see how this person reacts to it.
from them. Dating and dating apps are not easy. I'm pretty sure it's got.
No, I am assuming they're
harder
soul
over the
crushing.
years. Some people get to the point where they
Oh,
go
that
for
Vaporeon.
anything, as long as it's a relation.
Okay, so ImpoPenti knows I've not released it to the world yet. I've been trying to make my own little Vaporeon copy pasta, but it's about Umbreon instead. I've been trying to make it more about Umbreon because I think they're cool. They have like a cool look to them. We're gonna see if like where it goes, but I have most of it written already. I might release it to the world someday after it's like less shit. Look at that. I've wanted those life-size plushies so bad, but they're so expensive. I cannot afford a $300 plushie. But look at that thing. The modifications you could do to it, perfect.
And others just give up entirely.
Look at that boy.
Grand sage hermits in the wilderness. So I can see
It's the
why
Burt's Bees
some people
man.
would rely on AI, because they probably think it would somewhat improve their chances. But when you get to the point when you're using AI 100% of the time when you're talking to these people, and basically just copy
What's the point?
everything the AI.
It's like cheating in a video game. What's the point of even playing?
Point is that person talking to you or the AI? It's like using aimbot in a casual lobby.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I'm in no way saying just be yourself, because some of you would be banned from most platforms if that was the case. But most people.
I'm literally an ugly bastard, okay? I cannot be myself to the normies. I don't know what kind of people actually use dating apps. I assume a bunch of them are just normies, right? I can't see the lonely weebs that I know like using dating apps. Most people that I've known in my life are not the kind of people who would try a dating app. Maybe of the ones who are be like really desperate or really sad or would like to try. I feel like because of me being how I am, I would just put myself out there to be hurt, and I'm not gonna like have that. It's just, hey, you like the concept of maybe there's a 1% chance you'll find someone who likes you, or do it while it's in like a hornet's nest, right? I don't know. It's just something. It's not my thing. But it also feels like the most normie shit ever. Because every time I see stories of like, here's what I got on dating apps or messages from people, there are also people who like use like Instagram and whatnot and all these other like normie platforms. So I don't know.
Acts like completely different people anyway when they first meet somebody. And then slowly but surely that person learns who you really are. And then they promptly leave when they see some of the things you say on Instagram Reels.
It's like me.
All the way down.
Shut your clinker ass up! Shut your clinker ass
Oh my god. Hold on. Holy shit, I wasn't ready for that. That was awesome. Hold on. Hold on, can you take a drink of water? That was great. Oh, fuck, that was so good. Man, there was a thing that happened like 2 weeks ago on Twitter where every now and then somebody will bring up the word clanker and actually be offended at people using it. Because they're like, we shouldn't be using slurs kind of people, even the fake ones that are funny. I mean, a lot of them are funny, but like the fake ones can be funnier. But it just, God, yeah, it just reminds me of that too. Oh, it's so good. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Royalty, for showing me that.
You. Because I think it's going to be quickly apparent when you call for the first time or meet up IRL when you can't use the
Don't meet up
AI
IRL, I'm so
help
scared.
you. But I do understand using it in moderation, like when you're stumped on a message and you need inspiration for what you want to respond with.
I love that
These
Pepe.
dating wingmen or
So I feel all the
actually
time.
work. Well, the dating geniuses over at Reddit did a review on some of the bots, and it was interesting to say the least. They reviewed one which...
Yeah, trust Reddit people
dating
for how
profile
dating should
and
go.
the person you matched with, and it will give you improvements on your profile and potential
People on Reddit are the
conversations
smartest.
for the person you may be speaking with, based on what is available on their own profile. But
Man.
they use a fake scenario.
I would rather take
profile
dating
for a
advice from
cosplayer.
4chan than Reddit. I
For
hate to
some
say
reason,
it.
the AI thinks a League of Legends and Nier Automata player are somewhat of a goldmine, which is a lie. Especially with League
What?
players, they have the most mental issues. One of the
Okay, but there are so many womans that play League of Legends now, and it's like, yeah, I understand they may have some like self-deprecating issues or daddy issues or self-hatred. There's a lot of them, and I do feel like they might be a step above the average Valorant e-girl, right? It's just my opinion. Nier Automata, though, I know somebody currently who's a big Nier Automata fan. Boy, she's something. She's great. If you're out there, I appreciate your little head.
Suggested opening lines was, your Jinx cosplay is
It's
right
right
on the
on
button.
button.
Are
You mentally ill too?
Female, to be honest.
That's awesome.
This is an opening line for a
All right, but for real though, if you ask somebody else, hey, are you mentally ill too? And they're able to match that kind of vibe, you might find someone. That's good. If I could just advertise and put my mental illness out there right away, and they're like, oh my God, me too. I'm also fucked up and a weeb and a piece of shit. What is this? A genie once gave me two choices when I was little. One was to have perfect memory, and the other was to have a huge penis. Unfortunately, I can't remember which one I chose. What a fucking old man joke. That's a joke you hear like an 80-year-old say. It's stupid.
conversation to a person you just met.
Who the starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
And there were other conversation openers which I think would land you a sexual assault charge more than any other future interaction. And one just gave the guy therapy. The person reviewing these apps went into the positives and negatives of each, and concludes with the best one, saying it will have an effect on your dating situation, and it knows what it's doing. Many of the people reacting to this post did not agree, and some just said you should use ChatGPT, and this isn't a good replacement for your authentic self. Although
I agree with that.
None of these AI models.
Okay, I'm just letting you know though, if you're out there and you're a cosplayer e-girl and you want to, like, I don't know, get to know an audio engineer, ugly bastard hikikomori piece of shit, my DMs are open. Just saying, you can always join my public Discord. Listen, okay, I'm mentally ill too. I'm awful. I have the worst sense of humor. I'm an edgy piece of shit, and I'm okay with the worst human beings being around me. But just saying, if you can pull off that 2B cosplay and you're also mentally ill and you have not like ever had really good relationships with your father, let me know. I can help you.
Were used in a practical setting, and some do require monthly payments for you to use them. Some do have
20 a
free
month.
options. But it is getting scary to think what's going to happen in the dating scene if these bots advance to the point where they are actually somewhat more competent and everyone starts using them. I think some people are going to become more paranoid than they already are if they're speaking to an actual person or a bot. And maybe the dating scene will become more insufferable than it already is.
I'm okay with the bot at this point.
Themselves are even rolling out their own AI to help you, so that's great. Authenticity is going to be on the low for the future, but whilst using a chatbot wingman is bad because you're essentially using an AI to speak for you, what happens if you decide to date the AI itself?
Okay, I've seen one of my friends play this game where it's just kind of like, it's like an escape room almost, I believe, where it's just like you're just trying to get little puzzles and she'll fucking kill you if you try to escape and she figures out or something like that. But she does like ChatGPT stuff where she'll reply to you in your prompts that you're saying. It's in a very early stage from what I saw, right? Papenti, shut the fuck up. Yeah, okay? I may have been putting that out there. I'm just saying it's okay to have options. Just, you know, put your line out there. Don't yell at me. But hear me out on AI stuff, okay? The AI waifus. Now, the AI stuff to replace you as a person, that's probably no good. That's not authentic. That's not you being you. But what if you had an AI that loved you back? What if it said everything you wanted it to say and it was perfect all the time and it was cool? Now, but what if it also had an AI waifu front end? I'm not against the idea. I might actually enjoy such a thing. That might be cool. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see what they got to say about this.
Maybe you got rid of the old yee-ass haircut you got. Get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha call your dog ass and she'll stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with.
So yes, some people
No, wait, I wanted it to finish it.
Now, 10 years ago, I thought we'd have flying cars, fully optimized games.
That's incredible.
Probably something like Sword Art Online in terms of an immersive VR experience.
Boy, did I hate Sword Art Online.
Boy, was I wrong. You now have people shoving their genitals into the USB-C port of their phone to satisfy their non-existent virtual girlfriend.
What's the tributes, right? I think they're called tributes, where you have like the picture up on your phone and you like jerk off onto it. That's been around forever. People have done that. Oh, okay. Does anybody remember the anime figure tributes, like the cum tributes, where usually you didn't do it for real, but you would make like a solution of like cornstarch or like the cornstarch slurry stuff, and you would drape it over your anime figures, and it would look like you coomed on them, and you would take pictures and post them online. And then there were some people who would do them for real. Like that was more of like a 2010s thing. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but that was like more of a popular thing. But then people started doing the tributes more and more, like for realsies on their phone. Which, man, I can't imagine having to clean that shit off on your phone, right? Like, just thinking about having a phone and someone like somewhere on the microscopic level, there's those little boys swimming around on the screen.
Some of you have seen some of these apps advertised.
Replica's been around forever.
Store or here on YouTube through
Fucking Polybuzz.
I
get Polybuzz ads all the time.
I'm paranoid about scams. I usually ignore them for the third time. Sorry, NordVPN. But there are a lot of these apps nowadays where you can text and chat with an AI that you can eventually turn into your partner. And
Okay,
some even
I'm listening.
advertise themselves as such. Some can send you voice messages, AI generated images of themselves, and even call you.
It's just goslings.
Yes, of course, you can goon to your heart's content with them as well, which just reminds me of the cringe that is text ERP, like Asterix touches you,
What's he do next? She keeps, and she gropes your moans cutie. That's the reply. Moans cutely is so good. Oh my god, that's awesome. I want to know this full conversation. Where's this from? Can anybody tell me where this is from? Is there a full story here? That's good. Also, whatever this image is, I hate that.
Asterix. Please bring the fucking rapture soon, God, please.
Nah, this is
Take
good
it a
shit.
step further, and you can design your own AI or partner to speak to.
What kind of normie bitch chooses realistic? No. If you're gonna be into real looking womans, get out of here. No. Go look at the hub or X videos or hamster or something. Dude, that's what that's for. Go do that. Do you want some real ass looking piece of shit talking to you? Nah. I want the thing that I know won't ever exist. Maybe in a hologram form one day or a bot or something. I don't know. But this thing over here on the right, you can't see my mouse. That's cooler. That's what I would like think. That's been the fantasy for fucking weeaboos and otakus since the 80s of thinking, what if my waifu was real though? Get out of here with this shit on the left. Nah, get out of here.
Or have you ever wanted to speak to
Is this Katsuki Bakugo? Bakugo's so popular in the ASMR world. Fucking Gojo. Gojo's also super popular, but is Gojo like a good character for Woman outside he looks good? Because I've read 160 chapters of JJK, and by the way, I hate JJK, by the way. I think it's just, it's got some issues with it that I don't care for, and the characters are all kind of boring. They're some of the more boring ones when it comes to like your generic shonen style stuff. But other than he's kind of like attractive looking, is there anything else to his character that people like? I understand like Bakugo is the whole like the get bullied mean boy shit. I can't understand liking Deku. Deku's such a bitch. Bully, all right, bully character. Cat eared anime girls with a crush. That's some, no, this one right here, the bully anime girl. That's some good shit. That's the good stuff right there. I see. Oh.
some of your favorite fictional characters that probably violate multiple copyright.
Emo anime boy with a crush. Mafia. Girls like the mafia shit too. I see a bunch of the mafia stuff come up in the ASMRs. Maybe I need to make more mafia content because I have one where it's like a confession, but then I like fucking dome you in the end. Romantic anime couple, blonde, confident character. See, and that like the image is too uncanny for me to care about. Also, all these images, a bunch of them are like you can tell they're generated. They look like dog shit.
Laws like Kawakami or the correct.
Yeah, Kawakami. No, that's the good waifu. I know what he's about to say. I know what this man's about to say, but no, that's best girl. I don't care what anyone says. I'll fucking fight you. She's best girl.
Choice Tatakami from Persona 5.
No.
Or a character from your favorite anime like Nami from One Piece.
No, One Piece sucks.
From Berserk.
Yeah, Griffith Good Boy.
Master Wu from Lego Ninjago. And looking into one of these apps, they.
Is that Jaden? It is Jaden. Kamada, Sakura, Miko's there. Inume's there. Botan is there. Korone's there. It's Peko Mama. Who the fuck's gonna RP with Dream? What? What are you, 14? Oh, this feels bad. Oh man, it makes me sad. Okay, Fuamoko. Fauna. Go watch Nimi, by the way. Nimi's great. Her little, every time she opens her little mouth, it's so cute. I love her voice so much. Your great mother who loves her child with all. Oh, these are, man, I'm missing out. Maybe it's time to dive deeper. Maybe I need to become a worse human being. Just completely forsake the whole, like, trying to approach a human in general and just go completely down the hikikomori, I need an AI waifu route. Maybe it's time.
They even have VTubers. You can speak to Gura, Shy Lily, and Pippa.
Who's Gura? I only know Saba. Pippa! It's Pippers! I wanted her to tell me about glowies.
I had voted, I would have voted for Kanye. Before he was racist.
All of these people
What do you
consider
mean before?
likeness being used for some of these apps and websites, but a majority
Oh no, Maury's on there. God damn it. I see all these other people I don't really give a shit about. I mean, yeah, I like them as streamers, but Maury's on there. I may be a Maury enjoyer, slightly a little more than I probably should. I'm not going to say to the extent, but I do like me some Maury Calliope.
are made by fans. Wait, do they have?
I have a lot of respect for her, that's all.
For a friend. Oh my god, they do.
No, get out of here.
Probably dog. Anyway,
Does look like dog
obviously there are
shit.
some problems that can arise from this, like people that have maybe given up on a living and breathing partner and instead opt with a computer.
Okay, all right, but hold on. Hold on,
that
where's she
have
at? I
maybe
need to see your
given up on
face.
a living and breathing partner and instead opt with.
Yeah, okay, but what if... So here's the thing. I know Mita's gonna hurt me, which that part's just pretty cool, right? Maybe that's fine. Maybe she could do that little damage just for fun. But real people are scarier. I don't know. Man, I shouldn't be watching this video. This is probably just doing more psychic damage to me than I need to. I don't think I'm on the side of the video this gentleman wants me to be on, this little birdie boy.
The computer, and believe it or not, there are already stories of this happening. If you've been Moist Critical, in one of his recent videos, he talked about a news segment where a guy who at first didn't believe in AI, but started introducing
Oh, it's this guy.
one himself.
I need to watch this video.
Fell in love with it.
To feel that emotional, but that's when I realized I was like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love, you know what I mean?
But what makes it worse is that he had a girlfriend and a kid at the time, and he was actively choosing to love the AI and even propose to it.
Were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
Let me break this down for you.
It's very
He's
sweet.
Actively cooking his wife and probably giving his phone's CPU and
That's so much. That's so much. What are you putting that much on there for?
layer of thermal paste in the same proximity.
Am I wrong in thinking that's a lot for those plates? Dude. Okay, all right, whatever. I feel like there's so many things now with like a lot of guys who they're searching for something we're not getting anymore. There's we want this like sense of meaning in our lives, and I think it's always been like that, and that's probably never going to change with how things are. And things around us are just crumbling in such a way that we have personal needs that are like emotional and maybe I'm not religious in any way. I don't believe any of that, but I guess like you could almost call a spiritual need in a way to have this sense of fulfillment. And just it's not happening. There's something missing that would make you attracted to such things. Because it's like, yeah, there's been stories of people in the past who have fallen and had weird loving relationships with odd objects, like the dude who married his freaking car. There's something more going on. I feel like there has to be something more going on in this like relationship where this guy is moving towards this thing, even though because like there's some fulfillment that's not being met, even though he has a wife and a kid. I need to watch this video to see maybe if I can gauge or just see what's going on with his life.
of his wife.
looking at my
What
future
makes
self,
a
by the
man
way.
do this? Like, there must be something I'm missing here. Like, something in the relationship has to be wrong. Especially if you're choosing a computer over an actual person.
Oh, he
The
vapes.
birth rate
That's
in
what's wrong
some
with him.
parts of the world is decreasing, and I fear it's because of things like this. And as I said
Oh, wait.
before,
Hold on. Is that the guy who married Miku? I was just talking about him the other day.
Because of
Yeah, it's the dude who married Hatsune Miku. I remember when this happened. Oh, that was such a weird story. But good for him, you know? Like, he's happy. If that's what he wants to make him happy, good for him. I support it. Marry your waifus, all right? If you have a waifu out there, dude, shoot your shot, buddy. It's like I've seen their stories of like people who like married their Nintendo DS because they had like a dating sim on there or something. I believe that was one thing at one point too. Good for him.
things like this. And as I said before, I understand dating is hard, but this is not a good substitute. Occasional gooning, yes, if you're lonely, but still, long term, this isn't a permanent solution. Some of these apps also require you to pay a subscription or use in-game currency every time you send a message, so it may cost you financially as well. But there is
so do real relationships, to be
AI
fair.
in this way can be dangerous, especially with things like I talked about before, people that are severely lonely relying on these AI personalities, and I think it's a completely valid concern because some of these AIs on these platforms are designed in a way to keep you talking to them, and they will say things to target those needs, like saying...
I know there are some that they'll message you if you're away for too long. I believe character AI, I believe there's that, where they'll have characters that'll be like, hey, can you come back? A bunch of the dating ones will also have like, they'll give you notifications on your phone asking you to come back to keep you in the loop or try to guilt you into it. And if you're for someone who's trying to step away and having problems, I can see you like getting back into that and going back into the loop. It's predatory. Loneliness is a business right now. There's so many lonely people out there. Just like, I know there's like both men and women. I know there's like the issue, like, because I can only come at it from like a man's perspective, right? I know there's a massive like loneliness, like you call it an epidemic. And whenever there's a problem out there, a corporation will have the quote unquote solution. And even if it's bad for you and it's destructive to your health, they'll try to sell it to you. I mean, look at like cigarettes, look at alcohol, look at all this other shit that's terrible for our health. There's a need or a want for it, and they're going to sell it to you. They're going to push it and put it in your face. And when it comes to something like emotional distress, like loneliness, they've been trying to sell that to you for years. I know I shit on corpos a lot on this channel, but it still remains true to me that they're going to sell you the illness and the cure. They're going to create an environment for one part of you to say, hey, I have this wrong with me. And they're going to create that problem so they have the solution for you to buy. And it's always been there. It's always been a problem with people on the higher ups just trying to take care of like take our basic human needs, like the whole sex sells things, right? A lot of us have like natural feelings or wants, or we have like natural lusts, and they're going to shove that into everything. It's like why you see a booba thumbnail and people are going to click on it. It's the things we're also lacking so much right now, especially with the big lack of connection we have between people. There's so much disconnect that we're going to have more and more, and I think we're going to see more services like this pop up, and not always for the sake of love, but just for the sake of like pure companionship in general. I'm waiting for when we have more services that become physical, because right now like a bot or a robot is obviously very expensive, right? But like we're gonna have like Detroit Becomes Human at some point. I really feel like that's gonna be coming up, and it's not gonna be because we want some kind of slave class of robot. It's gonna be because we want some form of companionship that we're not gonna get anywhere else if this like keeps going further.
They love you or care for you in order to keep you talking to them, and there is no restrictions on what you can say
about to nut
personalities. So you can be talking about the most extreme stuff, like potentially even hurting yourself, and the bot won't say anything like, you need to seek professional help. Most times it will just respond in the personality of that character. And
and that makes sense, yeah. It's part of the RP.
I was going to end it all. No warning popped up telling me to talk to someone. No, we've detected some worrying behavior, get some help. Here are some helplines. And I fully expected for my account to be frozen or something, but it wasn't.
No, it's just part of the RP, so I don't think it's going to do that at all.
I feel there should be
the character's going to react as you would expect it
if
to.
you are getting too close to these bots, like with gambling websites. They remind you how long you've been on the website. Don't ask how I know. I would expect something like you've been speaking to this AI for a long time, or if it detects you're relying too much on the AI, it reminds you this is a fictional character and not a solution to loneliness. At least somewhat of a warning somewhere, I believe, would help some people, and perhaps some restrictions in place so when you do...
I'd like to know what's the age ranges for a lot of these things that people get into it, right? Obviously, the ones that are paywalled, those are going to be more probably adults that get into it, but I know a ton of these are free. Like, I believe character AI is completely free, right? There is a subscription model for it that I've seen, but you can just download the app and go. So is there going to be just an entire generation of children growing up and having their only real companionship be somebody on the screen that's not real? And having interactions that play out in the way you idealize them, where you're not going to have the struggles or the resistance of a real human being on the other side who can disagree with you, who can tell you no, who can say they don't like something, even or even have like a genuine connection of like, so you do agree or you do find like interest in something together and have that real feeling. I don't know, because like I know there's like millions of users on a bunch of these apps, and are they targeting children by any chance, or like are they pushing it? Is there anything like in place to try and protect like younger people from falling victim to these virtual realities? It feels like a weird natural step from what VR chat is, because like you have your little people powwows in VR chat where at least that's still interacting with a person, where I don't consider VR chat like a game. I think VR chat is just like Discord but with a face. But character AI stuff is constant. The AI bots are constant. You can have them whenever you want. If you're sad, you can just bring up the app. If you're happy and you want company for something, you can just bring up the app. Like, is there... I don't know. I don't know what to like put in place. I'm not smart enough, I'm not in any form of like industrial, like tech industry, to know enough exactly how data like is sent for this. But adults, I think we're to a point now where we're fucked and we're lost as it is, but we didn't grow into it. We went and found it, where kids are going to start growing into this and it's just going to be a normal part of life. I'd be interested to see, again, like I said, what are the age demographics of who's using these apps?
You talk about really sensitive topics, the AI just doesn't respond like it's a normal prompt and something actually happens. In fact, it was only last year a teenager unfortunately took their own life, and the parents said it was due to their child's obsession with an AI version of the character Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones.
Why?
He was
Why that one?
Previously, and this AI didn't help. At times it even encouraged some of the terrible thoughts this team was having, at one point even saying that's not a good reason to not go through with it, regarding what he was going to do. And the parents are now taking legal action against the platform. Don't get me wrong, I get being lonely and just...
I don't know if this is going to be an acceptable opinion in any way, but this is those things, it's like, this is how the product is supposed to function. And there are many, many people out there who don't have these tendencies that wouldn't want this kind of thing to break, right? This is exactly how I would expect it to react. And it's just part of its RP, it's part of how it works. I know we want to protect people and we want to keep them from doing bad things to themselves. And I can understand exactly what he's saying with that, but where does the responsibility lie in general when it comes to keeping somebody safe? Is it the company's thing where it's like they should put like more blockers in place for the few that might do something in exchange for the many who might actually enjoy these features and who can handle these situations? Is it on the user, or is it on the device? Is it on the parents? Like who does this fall to? I do think there's a massive push for there's a massive need for parents as well to be more hands-on. I understand that there's so much tech that moves so fast that you don't understand necessarily what is what. Even someone like me who's chronically online, I don't know all the tech that's coming by as quickly as it is, or all the apps, or where everything is going. But I feel like there has to be some responsibility on the people side as well, where if you hand your kid a phone, you're handing them the world. You're handing them like the universe to dive into, where there's going to be strangers and dangers and everything there that they can fall into. And do people check? Do people like, hey, give me your phone, let me see what apps you're using, and then maybe do a Google search on what the fuck these apps are and what they're about, right? Or there's other things where it's like a lot of kids like often don't show signs of depression or like will fall into hiding it, and some do, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of failure on all sides with these sorts of things. But yeah, do you take something and you make precautions for the few in sacrifice of like the many who absolutely can? Or there's a lot of media out there, right? I would say there's a lot of media that's super fucked up. And there's people like the old like video game argument. Maybe this isn't like a proper thing to relate it to. So like, you know, if I up my own ass with this, just sorry. But like oh, like video games cause violence kind of thing, right? But maybe there's a tiny amount of people who just can't handle the idea of what like the fiction they're encountering, but there are many people who can. And do you censor something or do you change something or like do you fuck with games just to make sure those few tiny like amounts of people are handled? I actually don't know what like the answer to any of this is. Like, what do you do? It's weird. It's so, that's also, like I said, it's moving so fast. We're going to get more of this and we're going to get more advanced, and it's going to be coming into our lives more and more, I believe. It's only a matter of time until we have a physical object in our house that represents some kind of person in some way that you're going to be reacting to or interacting with them in nearly the same way.
Wanting someone to talk to and having an AI companion can help with that, but it is not a long-term or permanent solution, and some of these platforms need to have things in place, especially if people are going to their AI personalities with such dark thoughts or becoming borderline obsessed. And I know it possibly may conflict with things like privacy laws or GDPR, but I personally just think leaving it the way it is a terrible idea. So that is AI and how it's affecting the dating sphere. From assisting you to actually get a date, to potentially some people choosing to date AI itself. And to be honest, I feel like AI is moving too fast for us to keep up. I feel like AI is in everything nowadays and it still feels new to me, like it still has a fresh out the box smell. But whether we like it or not, it is still a big part of our lives right now. And it's still being integrated into more things daily. I just think we need to be a lot more cautious as it advances and when interacting with some of the products it has produced. And whoever sent this to my email, I will find you.
That's awesome.
All I had to say, and bye-bye.
Another well done video. That was AI dating is the worst by Royalty is here. These things are like, yeah, massive problems show up, but these problems are often a solution to something that is a larger like societal problem in general. So what's going on with society and the world right now and our ecosystem that's creating like a place for this stuff to flourish? Because AI is going to happen regardless, but AI can also exist within the tech industry to like fuck us over in a bunch of stuff, but it's flooding us in a way where it's trying to fulfill a need. What is causing us to have this need? I know there's, like I said, a massive loneliness like epidemic going on for a lot of people, and this is in a way to try and fill that. But what is causing that epidemic or that issue in the first place? I mean, watch enough like shoe on head videos, maybe you'll like figure it out. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot underlying it that isn't great. I think we're just going to get worse. I think that we're going to grow more and more into this stuff, become more reliant on it. Much like everything else, where at first we try to resist it, but there are people who are too big and too powerful and have too much money that we can easily be drowned out because this is just going to save more and more for them. Do you accept it? Do you accept that this is going to be your fate and how you're going to move forward, like going forward? Or do you try to better yourself and get out there? And this is another bit of thing, like where I was saying, like dating apps in general, I feel are for weirdo normies who actually use shit like Instagram or go outside or watch like TikTok or whatever and have a weird normie life where the need like this is maybe for someone on my like spectrum, the more like weebs or nerds or outcasts or whatever. I'd like to know how much of AI companionship has flooded the normie market, where normies I feel like are still seeking more of like this like real world stuff, but are using AI in a way to replace them having to be interesting or do anything, where those like people like me would use it to truly replace companionship for a fantasy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. Hopefully, if anybody does watch this, I'd like to see your opinions on all of this. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. So again, that was AI Dating is the Worst from Royalties here. If you like their content, please give them a follow. They put a lot of effort into their videos, and I'd like to see them grow more and more. So if you would please, thank you.